Greetings. I hope that you are having a stellar day, and if not, I hope that this will maybe brighten it in some way, shape, or form. I have been away for a little bit, and in today's video, I wanted to just kind of recenter and refocus and get back to this, I suppose. I am not going to be in most of this video, like you won't see me per se, because there's something that I wanted to show you because I got a lot of great messages or comments, on my I think time or two back show and tell when I was showing things on my bookshelf and all of that stuff. So I thought that today I would show you this. These little things have been of great fascination to me, and I remember growing up, I loved rocks. I always thought rocks were very cool. I never knew really about any type of like crystal properties too much, or the more spiritual, I guess, connection or side that some people believe some crystals inherit the abilities for. So there are different crystals for all different types of things, for prosperity, for luck, for all of this. And I started to reconnect with my slight obsession with crystals and rocks and things like that over the recent couple of years, and I would like to show you my crystals, I suppose. So I have lost the names to most of these, and I've lost the reasons why they are. So I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about that type of stuff, if that's something that you're interested in. And we're just gonna have like another chill video. It is I think the first full week of the fall season, and right now outside I believe it's a nice 90 degrees. It's not really giving fall out over here in Houston, but I am cozied all in. So I hope today that we can relax and catch up and all of this, because it has been a lot has been happening over the past, what is it? It's been about 3 weeks since I've made a video. And I'll talk all about that in the next part of this video. Anyway, just wanted to let you know before I do go to the part with the crystals and everything like that, that I have a new way to reach me now. If you are interested in following me on like my other socials or anything like that, I'll show it here. I think I'll put it here whenever I'm doing my editing. But you can get to all of my different platforms a lot easier now, and you can also as well get to my podcast that I have, and my website, and my space shop, and everything. Please pardon my ADHD. I heard an airplane noise and I completely forgot the very last thing that I said. So if you hear a little extra noise and like the previous cut, that is because I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, I know it was something about the new link in my like description or bio or whatever. So, okay, without further ado, let's get into it. So I actually ended up cleaning these crystals, and I had them propped up on my notebooks here, just because I wanted them to like dry properly and everything. I had them in like these little bags, and some were in this little box here that I'll show you more in depth in just a second. But I have some of my crystals here, and then I have something else that I am so excited to show you because it is one of my favorite things ever. I don't know most of the names of each of these, and it's kind of, whatever. Some of them are kind of broken and everything, but I didn't want to like get rid of anything. So if you do see any that you are familiar with and would like to tell me the name of it, you are more than welcome to. But yeah, I'll just kind of show you a little bit more in depth. I'll show you first this baddie here, because this is the one that I was holding up in my like introduction part of this video. So yeah, let's do that first. I will scoot this out of the way a little bit. So I had some pieces of black obsidian that I'm going to put with the crystals that I'm going to show in just a little while. The little tiny pieces here. If you can already tell, the item that I'm going to be showing later on is made of some type of metal. But this, I love with all of my heart. I love crystals and rocks and just their beauty and imperfections. I don't really know why, but even that, like, the sound is just so. Ignore my nails. I did them before I started this, and unfortunately they weren't dry properly, so they got messed up. And it goes like that sometimes. And lately I have just been striving to just do it and not try to make things perfect or polished, because I'm in no way, shape, or form perfect or polished. I like things for the aesthetic, but all in all, I still I still can only do so much. So this is why I love this crystal so much. Some parts are smoother than others. So like here, it's really smooth and pretty and all of those things. And then you turn it right on its side and it begins to be jagged and more complex. And this side, it's more of a like opaqueness. So you literally, you get to see inside of the crystal in some parts, and then it starts to kind of solidify and, like I said, just kind of get opaque. Now I know this might not look like anything to some people, but it is just so beautiful to me. And this is what it sounds like. It doesn't make any like glass noises. It's solid all the way through. And I love it so much. I'll scratch on a little bit here. So I think it's so cool. Anyway, I'll move on to the next one. This one I like to keep out though, because I think it's a little fantastic piece of earth here. Now this is just a rock, like it's not a crystal or anything. It's just a regular rock. What I think is so cool about it is just all of the details in it. It really reminds me of outer space. And I went through a phase where everything I bought reminded me of outer space in some way, shape, or form. And one of the things I'll really be able to show you. But here's this. I remember I went to a rock fair, and it was rocks and gems and all type of things like that. And this was one of the ones that I purchased there. And I wish I remembered the name of it, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. Dealing with some of the crystals always makes my hands so dry. So I'm just putting on a little bit of hand lotion here. Better. It's I use an African black soap lotion. So I know it might not be the best for the parts of the crystal that don't like oil, but they'll be okay. I don't do it often. So I believe this bracelet to be a black obsidian as well. And I got this from a shop in New Orleans. And this is, I believe, supposed to, so all of the crystals that I have, at least the ones that I've purchased in the majority, all have something to do with protection or peace or prosperity or things of that nature. And I believe black obsidian is for protection. It's getting a bit warm and with the sweater on, so I'm just rolling up my sleeves. So these, I don't know the name of these three, but they are so beautiful to me. They remind me of just beautiful, beautiful pastel colors. And I have them in this, I believe it's pronounced selenite bowl. But this crystal is supposed to cleanse. It's supposed to be a cleansing base. And it's broken, but it's solid at the same time. I don't really understand it. But I think that it is just so fantastic. And actually, let me put these down so you can hear this. You know, I didn't really mean to almost make this like an ASMR channel. I really didn't know what I wanted to do with this channel, actually. And I still kind of don't. I just do whatever I feel like, and hopefully you all enjoy that. Okay. So, I'm just gonna put these back in here. So, most of these I'm not gonna know what names they are, so I'll just show you as I kind of ramble on about whatever. Oh, how did I have this in here? Oh my goodness. Okay, that's fine too. So, life update. I mentioned at the beginning of this that I ended up taking a little bit of a break from social media. And I had been around, but I hadn't really been creating at the capacity that I was in general. I felt it come on pretty suddenly that I needed to take a break. And when I did, it was kind of like everything in my life needed to refocus, and I won't go into too much detail because it really hasn't been too much of a pleasant time, truly, but in a lot of the things that I faced in my life, I feel like and maybe you can relate to this in some way, I feel like I have spent a lot of my time always trying to search for the answers before making decisions instead of just making the decision. And that's led to procrastination and, sometimes wasting my own time. And I'm someone who is a big stickler on my time and not wasting it, not even a moment. I like to do things with intention, and so me not knowing really what I was doing and feeling very stuck and unsure and all of those things, it was not a pleasant experience. But it's always in the journey, not the destination. I have 4 pieces of carnelian. It's my favorite crystal. There is one in particular that I'm going to show later on, very soon actually, that reminds me of Mars. And these have never strayed too far from me. But anyway, and there was a retrograde, and for those of us who are maybe new to astrology or are interested in it anyway, we typically don't know what many things mean, and so I really took the time to kind of get informed and read up about things in that regard. And I know that there was a lot of big energy shifts and all of those things. So shifts in my life, but then also energetically. And it was an experience, and I felt like I needed just to take my time with all of these things. And also with me, I don't like to do anything halfway. Like I said, I like to be intentional. But sometimes I'm the one who needs to give myself that push. So, yeah. I'm going to put the last of these in this little bag here before I move on to the final 2 things that I'll show you. I had been also, for another life update, I realized as I procrastinated and, was just kind of doing whatever, that for a really long time, I needed to get on something that I was too afraid of before. And that thing was a book. And not just reading a book, but writing one. And sometimes I think procrastination is fear. And I decided some time ago that I was not going to let fear of the unknown, of stopping me from trying. I wasn't going to let it. And that's why I came up with these notebooks. That's why I did all of the things that I did in order to get me here, to the place where I knew I belonged. But it's just one of those things, that it doesn't make sense until it does. And I think that if I would have tried to start the book before I reached this point in my life, it wouldn't have been nearly as impactful as I hope it will be. So I'm excited about the book. I can't wait to tell you more about it as well. I'm going to be showing you the last of my crystals. First, this little box. This little box is quite literally precious. On the side of it is the moon and the stars. I wish I remember where I got this from. Maybe Earthbound, maybe somewhere else. I shop a lot at Earthbound. That store speaks to my very soul. Had to turn the wrong way. Inside of it, you will see 2 little seashells. I love the ocean and all of those things, so I took a little bit of Dustin with me the last time I went a few years ago. And I keep them in that little box there. A box filled with soon-to-be crystals. I can't fit too much in it because it's not very big. It fits literally in the palm of my hands. But I'm going to pick out the shiniest of them all. My black obsidians and my tiger's eye. This is another piece of selenite. This one reminds me of a crystal ball. I'll tell you your future. This is my tiger's eye. They're such small things that they fit pretty much perfectly in this little box here. Like I said, I took these out to clean them. This thing is so dusty that I need to clean it now. I believe this is a blue jasper, maybe. Something like that. But I'm clearing this off so I can clean this properly. I have no idea what this one is. But it's quite pretty. Now, before I show you this carnelian, this is the largest one that I have. And like I said, I prefer it with imperfections. This one looks like an asteroid, beaten up and cracked, but still trekking on. I feel like that's a metaphor. I'm gonna move this to the side. This one is Mars. It reminds me of Mars. Or maybe it reminds me a bit of Jupiter as well, with the big red spot. It's one of the first ones I got. This is to cleanse. Of course, I have an amethyst. I think we should take a little bit of time with this one, because look at this magnificent specimen. This is such a piece of history here, and it's older than me. That's weird to think about. It's older than all of us, even all combined, whoever ever watches this. Here's what it sounds like. It's just so magnificent. Then, the last two things hiding here. Another black obsidian. And I wish my mind wasn't blanking on the name of this one. But the very last one is my desert rose. I love this little thing. It's so cheeky. It was hiding behind this little astronaut here. I love it. I'm just gonna put this one here because this one's very fragile. See, it leaves, they always leave some type of residue on my fingers. Now, the final part of this is me going to be cleaning this because I didn't get to do it the other day. And then I can show you properly what this looks like. As you can see, it was quite dusty. I hope you find these videos relaxing. It's very therapeutic of me to just take some time, unwind, and just focus on the little things. As you can see, this is a tray with the spaceman, an astronaut, and a little UFO. It is one of my favorite items. I mean, everything that I own is precious to me, but this one is really, really special. So yes, those are my crystals. Thank you for being a part of this, as always. Every single view and subscriber and all of that stuff it really means a lot to me. Especially because I know I'm not super consistent being here, but I do what I can when I can, and I prefer to create genuinely and with a good purpose, which I hope you can appreciate. So, thank you again. I will be posting weekly updates on TikTok. I have a new playlist about the book that I'm writing. It is going to be something extraordinary indeed. I've been working on it for a little bit of time now. I've been working on my thoughts around it, but actually writing things with it has been something that I've been doing as I've been attempting to refocus and recenter myself. So I hope that you will stay tuned, and I look forward to updating you. You can check out my bio for my notebooks here, as well as the links to everything else that I have. Thank you for being here with me for another video. Please also, if you do know the names of these crystals and rocks, let me know, please. Please, please, please. I hope that you have an absolutely stellar day, stellar evening, stellar morning, stellar afternoon. I said all of that backwards. But I really do hope that you have a good day, and thank you so much for being here. I will check in soon, I promise. I have a couple of things going on in the real world that require a good bit of my attention, but I will still try to give as much as I can to you as well. So, I will see you in another video very soon.